your stance must be right as far as your pivot. You start off with your pivot, get on your pivot, and it's light. The jab goes like this. This is exactly how the jab goes. Jab.
Counterpunching. But overall, I have to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford.
Floyd Mayweather made a surprise visit to Terence Crawford's training camp, offering rare and valuable insight just weeks before Crawford's career-defining showdown with Canelo Alvarez. During his visit, Mayweather shared key tactics from his own 2013 victory over Canelo, lessons built on precision, timing, and defensive mastery. He emphasized the importance of speed, flawless counterpunching, and keeping Canelo off rhythm. For Crawford, receiving strategic input from a defensive genius like Mayweather isn't just helpful, it could be a major game changer. In a fight where every second matters, Floyd's wisdom may provide the edge Crawford needs against the hard-hitting Mexican icon.
You bring the hook with it. You can go to the body. Jab. This double jab. Triple jab.
In a pointed moment at a recent press conference, Canelo Alvarez didn't hold back when discussing Terence Crawford's resume. He questioned whether Crawford had ever faced elite competition and warned that their upcoming bout would be a leap into unfamiliar waters. His tone was calm but firm, a psychological move designed to rattle the challenger. Canelo framed himself as the standard that Crawford has never met, using subtle intimidation to shift the pressure. It was more than a jab at Crawford's past, it was a bold reminder that Canelo considers himself not just a champion, but a measuring stick for greatness.
Last fighters that you fought, they ain't on my level. And
I fought everybody.
The last fighters you fought since
Everybody.
2002.
Mention me one. You
Since
mention me
2002.
one elite fighter. Just one.
You.
Oh, me.
Look.
It's gonna be me.
I don't
And
care
you
about
will-
nobody else.
And you will see that.
You. So when I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I stuff a mud hole in your ass, is you gonna be a nobody? Same everybody else been saying since I moved to 147, I ain't fought nobody. Every last one of them stuff a mud hole in their ass and he gonna be next. Watch.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Boxing analyst Max Kellerman broke down the matchup with surgical precision, zeroing in on one weapon, the jab. According to Kellerman, Crawford's jab is now among the most technically efficient in all of boxing, fast, accurate, and disruptive. In contrast, he noted that Canelo's once lethal jab has dulled with time. More importantly, Kellerman emphasized Crawford's ring intelligence as a real threat, suggesting that brain could trump brawn in this battle. He painted a picture of a fight where size and strength might be outmaneuvered by timing, strategy, and elite-level adjustments.
Crawford.
Best defense.
Crawford. Nowadays, Crawford. I would say early in the fight, Canelo. And earlier in his career, Canelo. But he hasn't been that kind of fighter in recent years. Although Crawford is also hittable. With any fighter, when you talk about their defense, the question is not, can they be hit with a shot? You take punches. Everyone, the greatest defensive fighters ever get hit. Pernell Whitaker, Willie Pep, Floyd Mayweather, they all get hit. The question is, can you hit them with combinations? And both guys are hard to hit. With the two-piece, hard to hit.
So who has the best footwork out of the two?
In terms of cutting off the ring, last fight notwithstanding, Canelo has gotten much better at cutting off the ring. But, early in his career, he had a problem with that and was much more comfortable counterpunching. But overall, I have to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford. What Canelo has is size, and as a result, physical strength and punching power. Canelo also has a great chin. But in terms of, if you want to go skill for skill, especially the recent version of Canelo, who's had to turn into a seek and destroy guy, who had to learn as his career went on to cut off the ring and not just follow guys around. Like Lara, Trout, Floyd, he followed those guys around. He had trouble because he's really a natural counterpuncher who wants you to come to him.
Nico Ali Walsh, grandson of the legendary Muhammad Ali, offered a heartfelt endorsement of Terence Crawford. Speaking with admiration, Ali praised Crawford's discipline, humility, and pure boxing skill, calling him one of the sport's modern greats. Coming from a family deeply embedded in boxing royalty, Nico's words carry historic weight. His public support for Crawford isn't just about boxing, it's a nod to the kind of character and dedication that once defined icons like his grandfather. Crawford's influence, in Ali's eyes, reaches beyond titles, it reflects legacy.
People with Canelo before Canelo's last fight, but then after Canelo's last fight, it seems like it's more 50-50 now. So everything is just the build up for that fight is just going to be absolutely magnetizing. Like that fight, it's garnered so much more buzz after Canelo's last fight, and Bud is Bud. He's one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. He is one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. So it's going to be a fight. It's going to be awesome to watch.
Have you sparred any of them?
I haven't sparred Bud yet. I haven't been in Canelo's camp. I've met Canelo a few times. I love Canelo's team. Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. He's been my favorite fighter for the longest time. But you know, I have to be Team Bud because me and Bud are cool, and I have so much belief in Bud, and I know who he is as a fighter. He is one of the greats. So he could do anything, you know, he wants.
And being around both of them and seeing how they work and train and things like that, what makes both of them the fighters they are, in your opinion?
I've watched Bud, so for Bud in particular, he's calm in everything he does, and that kind of calm is scary to watch because it shows experience. You can see that he's been doing this for decades.
Despite the heat of the rivalry, Canelo Alvarez showed professionalism when asked about Crawford's move up in weight. He acknowledged that when two fighters reach the top tier, weight becomes less important than skill and execution. Canelo admitted that Crawford's reputation demands serious preparation and vowed not to take him lightly. His comments revealed respect behind the bravado, a clear signal that he recognizes Crawford as a legitimate threat. He's not counting on size alone. He knows this fight will demand sharp strategy, elite conditioning, and full commitment.
Smaller guy, and why do I need to fight this guy? For you, what changed? Tell me about the moment where you're like, you know what? Maybe I'll do this. This sounds like a good idea.
If you're thinking about it, look how big turns this fight. It's a big fight. No, that's why it made me change. But you know, I've been in key situation before, jumping weight classes, and when you're a good fighter, that doesn't matter. So I'm not gonna focus on that. I'm gonna focus on training very hard because Crawford is a very good fighter.
Yeah, tell me about your experience with that, because now it's reverse. He's coming up in weight. What could be dangerous? What aren't we seeing that maybe you see in this fight?
No, everything. He's a good fighter. Obviously, I know that. I need to be careful. I need to be careful in every.
Respected commentator Showbiz the Adult offered a nuanced look at the matchup. He praised Canelo's natural strength, elite conditioning, and years of high-stakes experience, but also recognized Crawford's complex skill set. In particular, he noted that Crawford's background in wrestling gives him an intuitive grasp of body positioning and timing, key tools for defense and countering. While Showbiz leaned slightly toward Canelo due to size and experience, he acknowledged that Crawford's intelligence and adaptability make him a serious threat, capable of turning the tide at any moment.
And Canelo uses his legs, he uses his core, and then his neck itself to lift up Bivol like Bivol was a featherweight. That is a huge representation of how strong Canelo is. When you look at his workouts, you can tell why he was able to do that. All these damn neck exercises that I wouldn't dare do. Okay, that stuff looks painful. The squatting and all that stuff that he's doing is exactly why Canelo Alvarez, honestly, is a strong fighter. He tried to do it again with William Skull. William Skull shook out of it. But he is a bull. Listen, Terence Bud Crawford is strong. He is, okay? And he understands leverage and he understands those things because he wrestled. Honestly, very true. But Saul Canelo Alvarez is also extremely strong. Now, let me know how you feel in the comments below. We in the zone, war.
Heavyweight contender Jarrell Miller weighed in with personal passion, stating that he's rooting for Crawford to shock the world. For Miller, it's about heart over hype. He believes Crawford's hunger, preparation, and sheer willpower can neutralize any physical disadvantage. Dismissing concerns about size, Miller pointed out that greatness in boxing often comes from the fighter who wants it more, not necessarily the one who's bigger or stronger. He's betting on spirit, and believes Crawford's fire could carry him past one of the sport's toughest challenges.
Huge fight September 13th. Who do you think's going to win that?
I'm pulling for Crawford in this one. I think people's underestimating his strength right now and his size. And I think he's a little more hungry than Canelo. So let's see though, but I like both guys, but I'm more a little closer to Crawford, so I want to see Crawford can take it.
Multiple analysts agree that Crawford's success hinges on a flawless strategic execution. This isn't just another fight, it's a moment that could define his place in boxing history. To beat someone of Canelo's caliber, Crawford can't afford mistakes. His path to victory lies in patience, accuracy, and adaptability. Avoiding unnecessary exchanges and maintaining distance will be crucial. This fight isn't about showing off power, it's about controlling tempo, reading the moment, and outmaneuvering one of the smartest fighters in the game.
Understands that he has to be smart. And I think with this one specifically, it ain't just about being smart. He knows he has to look like he's never looked before, because again, if he doesn't and he beats Canelo, everybody's just gonna say, well, that's Crawford, you know. So I think he knows that this is the performance of a lifetime and everything has to look right. He knows in order for it to look right, he can't just go out there and let the dog go. The dog is, you know, you gotta work his way up to the dog. Hey, show the clip real quick. I don't know if you showed it already, but this is the dog you're talking about right here, right? And so this is, I pulled this clip right here. I seen it on social media this morning.
Don't do that. That's what I'm saying.
And I pulled this clip, right? But this is Terence.
That's who he is.
He's not gonna swing on Canelo. He already know that part of the game. But when I asked you, were you ever trying to send a message to your opponents? He's letting you know, and it's no act. And that's what I really wanted to show, is that's not an act.
No.
That's not, there's 30 security guards.
I don't know, it feels a little contrived.
You think so?
I think a lot of people feel it's a little like.
Well, I'm glad you used a big word that most of us don't know.
Hey, I don't fight as good as you guys. I had to learn some big words, right, to make up for that.
Don't look it up. Just ignore.
You
what
need big words to get out of fights. You know, you need big words to get out of fights. But you know, okay. So case in point, our guy Hafey, sitting right there, producer extraordinaire. He had a picture of Terence Crawford in New York.
Crawford isn't just aiming to win, he's looking to stop Canelo inside the distance. While that may sound ambitious against a fighter known for his granite chin, Crawford's recent success at higher weights justifies the confidence. He's already proven he can hang with and hurt bigger opponents. Climbing to 168 pounds is no small feat, but Crawford's adaptability, combined with his elite technique, suggests he's capable of shocking the boxing world yet again. His pursuit of a knockout isn't reckless, it's a calculated risk fueled by experience and belief.
Bud Crawford is taking his undefeated record, putting it on the line, daring to be great, to try and knock off Saul Canelo Alvarez from his throne and go and try to do something that no man has ever done, and that is to be a 3-division undisputed champion. That's a tall task. We know that Canelo Alvarez has fought fighters way bigger than Bud Crawford. It's actually one of the biggest talking points in this fight is the size. Canelo Alvarez has fought guys like Bivol. He's fought guys like Kovalev. He's fought guys like Billy Joe Saunders. He's fought really big fighters who are established at their weight classes all the way up to light heavyweight. And we know that Bud has come from a smaller weight class, being a champion all the way down at the 135-pound division into 140, 147. But as you can see in the tail of the tape, Bud is actually taller. Bud actually has a bigger reach. And quite frankly, he did most recently fight in the 154-pound division. and I don't think he will struggle to make weight to be at 168 and fight as a super middleweight. The question is, though, is bone structure. Who's going to carry that weight more effectively? We know that Canelo Alvarez has been in the weight longer, and as I mentioned, he's fought bigger guys. It's really something amazing for Bud if he's able to pull this off.
Rising super middleweight star Edgar Berlanga offered a grounded take on Crawford's approach. He advised Crawford not to stray from the formula that's made him great: elite fundamentals, intelligent movement, and ice-cold focus. Berlanga believes that the weight jump levels the playing field in unexpected ways and that this bout isn't as lopsided as it may appear. He respects Crawford for daring to take on the challenge, stating that such boldness defines true champions even before the first punch is thrown.
First of all, he got to go in there and he just got to fight him. You know what I'm saying? He got to go in there. I think Crawford just got to go in there and do what he got to do. You know what I'm saying? He got to just be Crawford, you know, show his IQ, show him why he's a two-time undisputed, you know, world champion, and go in there with confidence. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. You know, there's a big weight difference, a big weight jump. You know, that could be a difference in a fight. You know, because obviously, you know, it's like me jumping up to heavyweight. Obviously, I'm a feel the power. I'm a feel that size difference, you know, compared to my other fights. So I just think that he got to go in there and just be himself. And I said, if he loses, you know, we'll just all know that, hey, you know, he just jumped up 2 weight classes to be great. You know what I'm saying? It's not, he can't really, he's testing himself. He's putting himself, testing himself a great fighter. So, and I don't doubt him, you know, I don't got no doubt in my mind. You know, he's a 2-time undisputed world champion for a reason. So, you know, and I don't think nothing's gonna phase him in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the power, maybe the size. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Canelo, he's not knocking Canelo out. So, he just got to go in there just IQ.
Would you lean towards Canelo still in that fight?
I got faith in him. I think Crawford could do it. You know what I'm saying? I think he could do it. Just like I said, just the size. The only shit that throws the fight off is the size and, you know, obviously the power. And Canelo's IQ too, because Canelo got IQ. You know what I'm saying? And Canelo fought a lot much bigger guys, you know. So I know the Crawford's power ain't gonna phase him. I know Crawford's size ain't gonna phase him either. You know what I'm saying? So, but for me, I think it's a 50-50.
British commentators Gareth A. Davies and Duke McKenzie praised the fight's magnitude in today's boxing era, where too often, elite matchups don't happen. They called this one a throwback, 2 of the best, colliding at the peak of their powers. Crawford's ability to adjust mid-fight, they said, is his secret weapon. Unlike many fighters, Crawford doesn't need a rematch to figure you out, he does it between rounds. His adaptability, they believe, could be the deciding factor in a matchup where even the smallest error could cost everything.
Really like, this is a huge fight that's coming up. I really like Terence Crawford. I think, you know, we were talking about coaches breaking down film. I think that Terence does a good job of that, breaking his opponent down in the fight. I think that he does a good job of adjusting. I do think that, you know, Canelo is a big feat ahead of him, because I also like Canelo. Like, it's kind of one of those things, like, who do I like more than height? It's going to be a really good fight. I like both of them. I think that, you know, that is something that I think women's boxing does a good job of, is putting on fights like that. Like, we'll fight whoever. So I think it's cool to see the men starting to do more of that, like it historically has always been.
Tim Sayo gave a raw, honest take on the fight dynamics, suggesting that Canelo's style, while powerful, is also predictable at times. That predictability, he argued, is dangerous against someone like Crawford, who specializes in making subtle reads and turning them into devastating sequences. Sayo also addressed the pre-fight trash talk, calling much of it promotional theater. Still, he noted that the stakes are very real. Crawford isn't just fighting Canelo, he's fighting to carve out a permanent place in boxing history. And win or lose, this fight will define how that chapter is written.
Made him this great. Do you think that this is a similar thing for your fight now at this point in your career, stepping up and facing someone like Canelo? Does this kind of make you unbeatable and this figure that will just go down in history?
I don't know. I don't know about comparing it to his situation, but it will be a situation where I'll be talked about for many decades to come, and definitely go down in the history books as one of the best fighters to ever lace up the gloves.
Terence Crawford, never one to exaggerate, assessed his chances with a 70% confidence level. That figure reflects a deep belief in his preparation, but also the humility to respect the danger ahead. It's not arrogance. It's informed assurance. Crawford understands what he's up against, a larger, more experienced opponent with a storied career. But he also believes in his own evolution, training, and mental edge. He's realistic, but not afraid. And that kind of confidence rooted in hard work can be deadly.
You're 100% certain you're going to win.
We never 100%.
What percentage are you?
70.
To say 70% chance, it just doesn't sound that confident. But I want to say this, though. He was being truthful. He knows how important this fight is. And it's that important because it is very difficult. So, him saying this is difficult, and I'm giving myself a 70% chance, which is why I'm doing it. It is not because I'm bigger than him and this is easy and I'm stronger than him actually and people don't understand that I'm more skillful. No, he's a beast. And this has never been done. And this is not a sure thing. And that's why I'm so eager to do it. That's the definition of greatness. That's why he should be on the Mount Rushmore if he accomplishes it. That's why Terence Crawford is.
That's all for today's breakdown. The road to Crawford versus Canelo is heating up fast, and everything from press conferences to training updates points to one of the most monumental fights of this generation. Stay tuned, because the drama, the tactics, and the legacy-defining moments are just getting started.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. For more exciting videos, make sure to hit the bell icon and stay updated. Subscribe to Boxing Hub now for all the latest in boxing.